Hello friends, welcome to my channel English-TGT PGT UGC. Today we are going to discuss PYQ of BPSC TGT PGT GS question. So let's start our quick revision series. First question is on the topic of European commercial companies. Which of the following was the main reason for deforestation in India during the British rule? Options are to meet the demand for sleepers on railway routes and to supply timbers to the Royal Navy. Option B to meet the demand of planned forests and plantation of tea and coffee. Option C to improve land to meet the demand for expanded farming. Option D more than above. Option E none of the above. The answer will be option C to improve the land to meet the demand for expanded farming. The main reason for deforestation in India during the British rule was to improve land to meet the demand for expanded farming. Besides increasing population, demand for more food, grain, commercial crops and wood productions were other reasons for deforestation. Next question is the Indian Immigration Act of 1859 stipulated that options are plantation workers were not allowed to leave the forests without permission, plantation workers were not permitted to marry, plantation workers were not permitted to leave the tea gardens without permission, more than one of the above, none of the above. The answer is option C, plantation workers were not permitted to leave the tea gardens without permission. The Indian Immigration Act of 1859 was passed by the colonial government in British India. Under the Inland Immigration Act of 1859, plantation workers were not permitted to leave the tea gardens without permission, and they were rarely granted such permission. The Inland Immigration Act of 1859 severely restricted the freedom of movement of plantation workers in Assam. Next question is question number 8. Queen Victoria's proclamation was issued on which of the following dates? Options are 1 November, 27th November 1858, 1 November 1858, more than one of the above, none of the above. Answer is option C, 1 November 1858. British Parliament passed an Act of Parliament of 1858 and transferred power from East India Company to the British Crown for responsible management. The proclamation, which was also known as Magna Carta of Indian people, was announced by Lord Canning at Darbar in Allahabad on November 1, 1858. Question number 9. Which of the following assisted Rani Lakshmi Bai to capture Gwalior? Options are Afghans, Iranian, Mughals, more than one of the above, none of the above. Answer is Afghans. Afghan helped Rani Lakshmibai in capturing Gwalior. During the revolution of 1857, Maharani Lakshmibai had sent Rakhi along with letter to Banda Nawab Ali Bahadur II, whom she considered her brother, to make on the fringes and asked him to preserve her honor. Banda Nawab had reached Jhansi to fight with 10,000 soldiers. Next question is, who first described the revolt of 1857 as the first Indian War of Independence? Options are B.D. Savarkar, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and R.C. Majumdar, more than one of the above, none of the above. Answer is B.D. Savarkar. The revolt of 1857 was first described by B.D. Savarkar as the first Indian War of Independence. He writes in his book The Indian War of Independence 1857 that the Indian Rebellion of 1857 was the first expression of widespread restrictions to British colonial control. Thank you.